In this lesson, we are going to continue our properties of logs. The biggest thing that we have to remember are these two things, at least for your non-calculator types of simplifying problems. Logs don't keep exponents, so anytime you have an exponent, you can bring it down and it gets multiplied to the log. And log base a of a, so when they match, it simplifies to 1. So we will continue through these things. So here, and they'll get a little bit more challenging kind of as we go through them. So we have, we're going to rewrite this as log base 3 of 3. I'm trying to make those match, so I bet 9 is just a bunch of 3's. And it is 2. So this is where our property kicks in. Logs don't keep exponents, so that exponent multiplies to the front. So that 2 comes in front. And log base 3 of 3. And this is equivalent to 1. So if the base matches that, you're just going to get a 1 out of that. So our value is just 2. All right, now on this thing, this one's a little bit more challenging because we are trying to make 3 a bunch of 9's, which is not very obvious. However, 9 to the 1/2 power, if you square rooted 9, that would actually get you your 3. So 9 to the 1/2 power is 3, and it makes this, it forces this base to match the number. And then we pull the 1/2 in front, log base 9 of 9, and then that becomes a 1, so it's just 1/2. All right, and then here you have log base 6 of 6. 6 to what power is going to get you a 1? That's going to be a 0. So pull the 0 in front. Log base 6 of 6, that's equivalent to a 1, and you got yourself 0. And then here, you're looking at a log, if you just have an exponent of 1 on there, pull the 1 in front. And actually, we don't even need to do that at all, because this is just the property. Didn't even pay attention. So that is just 1. All right. And then here, very straightforward. They just gave you the power right here. So that goes down into the front. And log base 4 of 4 equals a negative 3, because that is equivalent to 1. Here, if you rewrite this, we don't want radicals on these things. We want to rewrite our radicals as fractional exponents. So a root 4 is a 1/4 power. Pull your 1/4 in front. And remember that the natural log of e, the natural log is log base e. So this is going to turn into 1. You can double check that that happens in a calculator. So you're just left with 1/4. All right, this last two, well, we'll get to that. This thing, 8. We want to rewrite this like this. Well, 8 is 2 to the 3rd, but it's in the denominator, which means it's still 2 to the 3rd, but it's a negative 3 because of the location of it, of where that 2 would be. So remember that if you bring something up, it changes the power of the exponent. So that's 2 to the 3rd. But it just becomes a negative because you brought it from the bottom up. So it's this. So that 8 becomes 2 to the 3rd. If you bring that thing up, typically we do this because we want to move negative exponents to positive exponents, but it doesn't matter. If you move something, it changes the power. It makes it go, whatever the sign is, it switches. So bases match, pull the negative 3 in front because logs don't keep exponents, and then that's equivalent to 1. So you get yourself a negative 3. And then this, that's just 1. So you get yourself a negative 4. All right, and that was part 2 of using properties of logs.